right, well, hello, and thank you for tuning that dial to the Eek channel. My name is James, and today I am joined by my co-host,
Josh.
Hey, Josh, how's it going tonight?
It's going good. The weather's
going
nice.
good. The
Oh.
weather today.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how many Midwesterners we got out there, but the weather today.
It feels like fall.
But still like warm fall, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't need to wear a jacket today.
No. Maybe now.
Maybe now. In the evening, absolutely. But like, oh man, it was so nice. Like, incredibly nice. How's your week been?
Pretty busy. Well, I mean, I guess it just started, but the weekend was good.
Yeah.
Week was busy. It was good. I'm ready for the fall. I'm over this heat.
Yeah. Well, you're also just ready for football,
Well, of course.
which I mean is here, but like full swing football.
Full swing football.
Yeah. Cool. Well, today, first of all, I guess I need to introduce the type of episode. This is an
course.
Eek Speak episode, which means that we're going to just chat with some people about scary movies, which is one of my favorite things to do in general. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to call up a couple people. It is Ben and Nancy from the Extreme Horror Replay podcast. They pretty much do what we do for Spoiler Vision. They just watch a lot of movies and talk about them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's great. All right, let's hopefully my phone's hooked in correctly. We haven't had that issue in a while, so we'll see what happens here. Boop.
Oh,
Hey, you've got James and Josh from the Eek channel. Is this Ben?
it is. Yes.
Hey,
I got
Ben.
Yeah. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
And we have Nancy
Just
there as
watching Your
well.
intro.
Do we have Nancy
You're
there
taking
with
a-
us? Oh, there's a little bit of a delay. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Okay, there we go. There we go. Everyone is present.
We are here. Yes.
Awesome. How are you guys doing tonight?
Just was waiting for your phone call.
That's awesome. I think you guys are kind of Midwest located too. Are you guys out of Michigan? Is that right?
We are out of Michigan. Yes.
Unfortunately.
Has your day been as beautiful up there as it was down here? I'm really not sure.
It was a nice day.
It was. Yeah. I got some work done outside. I'm off for the week. Nancy, unfortunately, has to work this week, but I'm on vacation this week, so.
There's nothing like a good old staycation.
It was nice. Partly cloudy, 72 degrees. Can't complain.
Yeah, that's my jam. All right, well, so obviously, first thing I'd love to do is for you guys to just tell us a little bit about yourselves. Obviously, you are fellow podcasters, so you can even tell us a little bit about, what you're doing with Extreme Horror Replay and kind of how that all got started. And, go ahead.
Well, yeah, we'll try and keep this short.
Yeah.
23 some odd years ago. We've been married for over 20 now.
Wow.
And
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you.
We're still incredibly young now.
No, I get it. I don't want to interrupt you because you're getting ready to just
Go
start.
ahead.
You're starting the story, and I'm already interrupting because I'm a terrible host. But my wife and I actually got married at 19, and we weren't high school sweethearts. We didn't even know each other until after high school, and so we're getting ready to hit 10 years, and it's always really funny because people don't believe us that we've been married 10 years. It's like, nah, it's true.
Oh, I know.
Like unheard of now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we get that a lot. You've
Yeah.
been married for how long? Holy cow.
Yeah. 31, and we have a 20-year-old daughter, and have been married for 20 years. And
Yeah. Good for you. Well, go ahead.
So yeah, when we got together all that time ago, actually, the very first movie we watched together was Copycat, and it's not really horror, but it's got some of that terror and thriller aspects to it, and it was actually us and a group of friends, and that is where we held hands. You know, from then on, it's just been horror and, you know, so to movies that I, you know, never even thought of seeing. And if you can believe it, movies like Caddyshack and stuff like that were never really in my, for having older brothers, she grew up watching that stuff. So,
Sure.
watching or started listening to podcasts because I just got sick of listening to music, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, what the hell? I'm going to give this a whirl and see if there's something we can do here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah.
I had talked to a couple friends I know, and you know, they were, you know, maybe yes, maybe no. Asked Nancy, and she's like, "Well, okay, I'll do it for an episode or two." Long story short, we're 15 episodes in, and she is now the full-time co-host.
Basically
Yeah.
just doing what we do when we watch any kind of movie, only just having a microphone,
Yeah.
doing
Right.
it, and
Absolutely.
we kind of agree to disagree on a lot of stuff. Ben has a tendency to like movies and stuff that don't really exist, and I have to call him out on it.
You're talking about the body reveal?
Okay, I need to hear that story. What's that all about? What's going on there?
Okay,
That's for-
it was for Intruder. We were watching Intruder. We were trying to figure out what the name of the term is when a body.
it's a cinematic theme that runs in horror movies where
Yeah.
the protagonist is finally coming to terms with the fact that dead bodies come from out of nowhere. And so that's what Ben calls the body reveal. It's like it's an actual term, and just, you know, use it like it's an official term like that. So that's just an example of the kind of thing that I got to keep them in check because
I do.
You're married, so you know.
I do. I remember that episode, and I couldn't help but think that a body reveal could be interpreted in a very different way.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
that's a different genre of movie. That might be our next kind of podcast. I don't know.
All right. Well, let me know a little bit about your guys' horror origin stories. So, how did you even get into the genre in the first place?
I'll let you go.
Well, my story is really easy. When it was in the 80s, and my mom and dad were one of the first people on our street to get a $500 VCR.
Yeah, they were
So that was
expensive.
cool. And so we'd go down to, I believe it was Rainbow Video. I don't quote me on that, but it was. I lived in the suburbs of Detroit, so we'd go down to the video store. Or the poor people had to rent their VCRs, so we had one. And my brothers,
I resent that.
my brothers decided that they were gonna rent A Nightmare on Elm Street, the very first one.
Nice.
And nothing will traumatize a young girl in elementary school than seeing somebody with the same name, Nancy,
Yeah.
being traumatized throughout that entire movie. And the first scene that I saw that stuck with me for years after that was Nancy's friend who was walking through the halls of the high school in the body bag.
Yeah.
That scared the crap out of me for years after that. So yeah, that's when that feeling kind of rose up in me. This brings emotions that I'm not comfortable with, but that's kind of cool.
Nice.
Mine's a little different, and actually, I don't think I've ever shared this with anybody before.
Exclusive.
Scoop.
Yeah, this is exclusive. Well, originally, you know, I came from a Christian household, and so horror wasn't very big, and The Fog was on TV. So that was one of the first ones that I really ever saw. But my neighbors had rented The Predator, and this was 1987, 1988, I believe. And I was over there watching the movie, and when the skinned bodies were hanging from the trees, completely freaked the shit out of me. I don't know. I don't know why, but I couldn't finish the movie. So, but it was like that fear and that wanting to see more, and that was what I think the trigger was. And then from then on, I remember, Evil Dead 2, renting Evil Dead 2 and watching it. Watching Nightmare on Elm Street 3 on TV when it was on.
Those garbage horror movies.
Yeah. So, yes, we are married. Can you tell?
Oh yeah, I know that laugh too.
Yeah. So, but that I think was that was the turning point. Really, I think was seeing the skinned bodies, and it was just that fear, and then from there it just kind of took off, and it was like, now I love the gory and the just absolute downright gritty nastiness. So.
No, we have a totally different taste in horror movies.
We do.
Okay, well, let's explore that then a little bit. You have a totally different taste. What kind of, just kind of tell me how it differs. Like kind of Ben, what do you gravitate more towards, and then Nancy, what are you into?
Okay, well, I'm trying to get her to finish a Serbian film.
Oof.
And that one's even a rough watch for me, but I mean, I like stuff like the new Evil Dead.
Yeah.
The bloody.
You like the gore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Into the gore factor. I'm more into the psychological things that you don't know will scare you. Things that you have to put together in your head scare you more.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, what would you guys say for both of you is your kind of comfort food horror? Is there one that you just kind of go back to that maybe like a lot of times for people it's like a yearly watch, like maybe around Halloween they're like, oh, I have to watch this. It's my favorite scary movie, like my comfort food horror movie.
That's a good question. We love the movie Funny Games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the psychological, but that's one I can get behind.
Yeah, I really like that movie.
I'm trying to think.
We always watch Halloween. Like we do a Halloween marathon around Halloween time. We do like Friday the 13th marathons in the summertime.
Nice.
And it just kind of, that's kind of more nostalgic for us. But
right.
We have things that we keep going back to over and over again. We just recently rewatched after years Pet Sematary, because I would not watch that for years. Having kids, I did not watch that.
Zelda freaked me out.
Yeah. Did you guys watch the remake of that one?
We did.
We saw it. I guess I liked the original. I thought maybe that was because when I saw it, I was younger and it freaked me out. But
that's
I
not
didn't
why.
mind it.
No, it's because the remake's garbage.
I didn't mind it, but I was definitely more in tune with the original.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was probably my biggest disappointment of 2019. Like, I don't know, the advertisements for it with like the kids in the mask. I'm like, oh, they're going a really different direction with this. Like, this could be really interesting, and I did not like it at all.
Bad.
Yeah, we were expecting more of that.
Speaking of horrible remakes, Child's Play.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Is it bad? Is it bad?
It's
bad. It's very bad.
Like, I like being really nice on the podcast, especially just because, like, I'm a creator. You guys understand this as podcasters yourself. You make a thing, and like, you want to be supportive of kind of all artists, and like,
right.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's just not my cup of tea. But like, I love it whenever someone just comes in hot and like, no, it's bad. let's be real. Like, we're not beating around the bush. It's bad.
Yeah.
We walked out of the movie theater and we were like, man, that fucking sucked.
Yeah, they did. Mark Hamill did a good job, but everything else was garbage. It was not good enough.
All right.
I mean, if
I
you
demand
want
more out of a movie.
if you want to rent it, then yes, but I would not recommend buying it.
Yeah, we wish we wouldn't have spent the money for like theater tickets.
But oh man, yeah. As far as comfort horror, I would say,
I spit on your grave.
yeah. Ghost Ship. Ghost Ship is a good one.
Ghost Ship.
Uh,
I haven't thought of that in a long time.
That one.
yeah, The Evil Dead.
That's you. Evil Dead didn't really do it for me. But
So
I love The Conjuring, and I know it's newer, but
yeah,
Conjuring was good. In the Insidious movie, Sinister is one of my favorites. That's one of the ones that we go back to maybe every couple of months and watch it.
Yeah, I really like the first Sinister.
Yeah, it was awesome. Even though Ethan Hawke would have that obnoxious sweater on.
and I think the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that's such a good pick.
That's a good one. Yeah, if you are looking for a good Friday night, let's watch a scary movie. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Even our son watched that one, and he's 8.
All right, so we like to play this game around here where if you could eliminate one movie or franchise from the horror canon. Hocus Pocus. Oh, come on. Hocus Pocus. It's so innocent.
I binge listened to your guys' show, so I knew exactly what was coming, and I have had this answer for forever. Hocus Pocus. Get it out of here. I'm sorry. I don't know what the nostalgia is in that movie. Okay, Sarah Jessica Parker had her boobs pushed up, big deal. Bette Midler.
Yeah.
It just, I'm sorry. Hocus Pocus.
Oh, man.
What about you, Nancy?
Well, I would have to say I'm looking at our collection here.
Yeah.
And I think as a complete series of movies, and Ben's going to disagree with me on this, I'm sure, but A Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one was good. After that, complete garbage. They went steadily downhill every time they did another one.
Oh, no love for 3? No love for Dream Warriors?
No, that is the worst. Are you kidding me? No. Yeah. I got to stand firm on this one. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Flip side. Is there anything that you guys think, and you can answer this individually, we got plenty of time, that is maybe underrated, maybe deserves a remake, or maybe it's not a remake, maybe it just needs some more light shed on it. It just kind of needs to be resurrected. People just don't talk about it enough.
Okay.
Does it have to be a horror movie?
I know we were just talking about this last night or the other day, but okay, the Falling Down with Michael Douglas. I know it's not horror.
Yeah.
That one needs to be remade. As far as horror, oh my Lord. Yeah, we're looking through the collection and seeing what we should remake.
So many
While you're looking, Falling Down was one of those movies that, like, growing up, my dad always watched, and like, so I would only catch pieces of it here and there, and like, I would be like, man, this movie is just like so interesting, but I don't really understand what's going on. And then when I finally watched it as an adult, I'm like, man, that's a good freaking movie.
Oh yeah, that is one of those movies that, especially if you're a working adult, it connects with you in so many ways because it just is. Oh, okay, we got a good one.
Okay.
Magic. I don't know if you've ever seen it with Anthony Hopkins and Anne Margaret.
The ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
If they can remake that one and have it scare the crap out of a person as much as the original, then
man.
they've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, that was one of those movies that kind of flew under the radar for a long time, and then I saw it. I was probably like a junior in high school or something, and like I was hanging out with my girlfriend at the time's dad, and like he was like, "Oh, you like scary movies?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You seen Magic?" I'm like, "No, what the hell is that?" And like we
This
watched
is
it
one of those-
together, and I'm like, "Oh my god."
This is one of those movies that Nancy introduced me to because her brothers had showed it to her. So
My mom loved it.
yeah, I had no idea about it, and we watched it over and over again, and finally just got the Blu-ray a couple months ago. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely a good one.
Yeah, remake that one. If you're gonna remake anything, remake Magic, because I'd love to see them outdo the first one.
Should they remake it and have Mark Hamill do the voice of the dummy?
Hell no.
All right, here's kind of a random one for you guys. What's the last horror movie that you guys watched?
Oh, it would have been
The last one was New York Ripper.
yeah, New York Ripper.
New York Ripper. I've never seen it. What did you think?
It would have been an excellent movie had it not been for the stupid duck boy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Lucio Fulci movie.
Mhm.
It's got an awesome plot, tons of boobs, tons of butt, a lot of blood. But the killer, you find out why, but the killer makes a duck voice. He literally,
It's a Donald Duck.
yeah, he literally quacked on screen. So it's a very, very good movie, except for that
Yeah,
one
that is the one.
aspect.
The one bugaboo is that they have the stupid Donald Duck voice from the killer and ruins everything.
Okay, that's interesting. I did not know that about that movie. Did you guys watch that one for the podcast, or was that one just for fun?
No, we did watch that one for the podcast.
Okay.
Episode 2 be coming soon.
All right.
I like the
Got a
three,
lot to say about it.
I like the 3 B's of boobs, blood, and butts. I like
Right.
that.
I hadn't noticed, but apparently Ben did.
All right. What would you guys say? What would you guys say would be a recommendation? I've listened to not every single one of your episodes, but a lot of them. As you've started down this journey, have you run into anything that you're just like, man, that was way better than I thought, or like more people should probably know about this? Like anything like that you guys have run into since you started the podcast?
Oh, man.
Like a actual podcast movie, or one that is on the deck for a future podcast.
Oh, I guess it could be either
Yeah.
one if you've got something in mind.
Is what the one is it Inside?
Inside.
That would be a good
Yeah.
one.
Mm. That's like a pregnancy one, right?
That is
Yeah.
the pregnancy one. But do not watch the American version. You have to watch the French version.
Oh.
Do better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we watched the American.
The American version just drew out. It was forever. It was like, where are they going with this? We already know what the ending is. Do they have to make it this long? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You have to watch. Well, the American version is completely different from the French version. The
Mhm.
French version is the original. Highly, highly recommend it. It's, subtitles obviously, but
Sure.
just purely based on the fact it was chronologically filmed.
Oh, wow.
There's so much blood. I don't
That's
know.
what you like about it. But I like the psychological aspect of it.
Yeah, I gotta say that's probably one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah, that movie just screams awesomeness.
And I like, on kind of a different note, I like the American remake of Funny Games
yeah.
over the German
Oh,
original
right.
version.
Yeah, Austrian.
Yeah. I loved it. I thought it was super creepy, and I would recommend that. If somebody wants like an actual, honest to goodness thriller horror movie to watch, something that's going to scare the crap out of you psychologically, that's the one I would choose.
Yeah, the thing about that movie though is like it seems so kind of straightforward, home invasion, fairly realistic, but these guys are really sadistic. But then like that what is with spoilers, I guess. If anyone hasn't seen Funny Games, turn the podcast off. What is with that scene where he breaks the fourth wall and then just like rewinds time with the remote? That is so weird, and I love it.
I think he's trying to
get into the viewer's head.
Yeah, he's trying to include the viewers. And, and that's what.
It's freaky. It's like
he just looks right at you. He looks right at you as a viewer. It's terrifying.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what you want. That's what you want in a horror movie.
Yeah.
You don't want any of the predictable stuff. You want something that's gonna like jar you, and that totally does.
And the thing that's nice about that movie is that the original and the remake is basically a shot for shot.
Really?
Redos. So, yes. I think the only difference, there's one difference in one scene that is basically the only tweak that was made. And I believe it's right around the time that he rewinds the movie. And I think it has to do with the son. No spoilers, but that is the only difference, I think, is how the son is viewed.
Okay.
And then, but everything else is a straight for straight, shot for shot remake.
This is one of those movies. I just have to interject. We don't have the American remake of it, but it is such a good movie that we will watch the original with subtitles just because it is that good of a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of internationally made movies that have subtitles and stuff, but rarely do I rewatch them multiple times.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Train to Busan, but that's just because it's amazing.
I've seen that one. Nancy has not. We have to sit down and watch it because I honestly think she would like it.
Yeah.
We got time. Got nothing but time.
All right, well, guys, I actually don't have any trivia for you today. I figured whenever, like I said, when I have other podcasters on, usually we tend to just talk a lot. So, and that's great. That's exactly what podcasts are for, right? So I didn't prepare any trivia for you today, but I did want to give you an opportunity before we end our time to just let the people know everything about your podcast, where they can find it. Obviously, if they're listening to us, they probably know where to find it. But yeah, just let them have it. This is your time. Pitch away.
Wow. If you like to hear about really good movies and you like to hear two people arguing a whole hell of a lot, and Ben hates when I say it. This is one of my biggest pitches. I always do my podcast completely nude.
It takes a lot longer to watch the movies that way because I'm usually preoccupied. But yeah. So anyway, yeah. Extreme Horror Replay Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, and you can find us on all the major platforms: Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcast, etc., etc. Yeah, email us at extremehorrorreplay@gmail.com. We don't do the video feed because she is nude, so
nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see my 41-year-old ass.
Save that for your OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
That's a private feed.
My old ass.
But yeah, we're just a married couple that like to discuss horror movies, and sometimes we argue, cuss, and fight, and sometimes we agree, and we just have a good time with it.
We do it actually just because of our love of horror movies, and
pretty much.
we like to share that.
Yeah.
With the masses.
If there's something out there that you haven't seen and you want to see it or want to hear it covered, yeah, definitely let us know.
Awesome.
There's a lot of people, I should say, a lot of people that we are in contact with on a day-to-day basis, like coworkers and friends, that they want to get to know the real us, and only by watching or listening to the podcast do they actually know. Can they actually get like an actual honest to goodness
We have our work face, and then we've got our at home
Yeah.
face, and they're
Yeah.
very, very different.
Yeah, what
Oh,
we do,
yeah.
what we do on the outside is nothing involving any kind of horror movie aficionados. So people kind of get that taste of something that they don't get every day.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I work in a very odd business. I'm not a real estate agent, but I'm in the real estate industry, and I've had some people that clients, or not really clients, but just like the company that I work for, some of the people that are involved in that have listened to the show, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know if you should.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. When I work as a medical office compliance officer, so you don't expect somebody that does that to come and do a horror movie podcast. So I
Right.
shock people and tell them about it.
Well, that's awesome, guys. I really enjoy your show. I am a subscriber, for sure. I drive around a lot for my job, and so I listen to a lot of horror podcasts. But you guys are in my rotation. I'm super glad that we got to talk with you guys today. It has been a great time, and I mean, anyone who's listening, what you're getting now is just a perfect example of what you're going to get from Extreme Horror Replay. They are really funny. Their banter is great. I love it whenever we tread into argument territory. And I think that there's a very special there's a type of synergy that you guys, being married for 20 years, can tap into that just most humans can't. And I think that's what's so great about your show, and I really, really love it. So there you have it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, it's been so great talking with you. You guys have a great week, and we'll stay in touch.
All right.
Thank you so much.
man.
Have
I
a blast.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yep. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
They were nice.
Ah, you beat me to it. They were nice.
Oh, so nice. Okay, well, I hate to do this, but there's not a lot of. Well, let's start off. Excuse me.
Oh,
Let's start off on a high
hot
note.
mic.
Hot mic beer burps. Hot mic beer burps. We're gonna start off with some good horror trivia. Not trivia. News. Horror news time.
Breaking.
So good news is the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street have been reverted back to Wes Craven's estate.
Boom.
Huge good news. I'm not sure where they were wrapped up last, probably with New Line, but maybe not. I think things got a little murky there for a while. But now that it's with his estate, what that means is that the people in charge of his estate, I'm assuming probably his family, but they may have a representative, I don't know, who knows. But they are able to now wheel and deal a little bit with that license, and we could potentially see the good Nightmare on Elm Street revival of some sort that I really want to exist.
Right. Like, good leadership back. They have their rights. Now
Right.
they can pick who they want to do further things.
Right. So hopefully something comes of that. If not, that's okay. You don't even have to make a new movie. I'm fine with that. Just like, I don't know, maybe like a cool new Blu-ray release with some secret behind-the-scenes stuff that we've never seen before. Like, I need Freddy to be in pop culture. It makes me so angry
Ooh.
that Gen Z,
Ugh.
when they hear about something scary named Freddy, go to Five Nights at Freddy's before Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh.
That angers me, and it's a true fact.
It angers me now. Oh.
It's a true fact, and I don't like it. I've done searches when I make the memes for the Instagram account and stuff, and like when you search like, oh, Scary Freddy, a lot of times the first thing that come up is freaking Freddy Fazbear, and I'm just like, no. You can be scary. I'm fine with you being scary, but no, you don't get the rights to Scary Freddy names.
Ugh.
It's not okay with me.
Ugh. That's all I got.
Okay, then I'm gonna bring us down with
Yeah.
a little bit of bad horror news. I feel like we have to address it, and that is that Sid Haig, our Captain Spaulding,
Yep.
from
The
House of a Thousand Corpses,
Zombie joints.
Yeah, the Firefly family films of Rob Zombie's creation has passed away, and that is a very sad thing. I do want to say that we as a podcast have probably thrown more shade at Rob Zombie and some of the stuff that he's made
Oh yeah.
than maybe a lot of people do, but that does not take away at all from Sid Haig's talent and his 110 fucking % commitment to his character roles.
He's always just in your face, creepy. Like he has a weird look about him to start with,
right.
but like he just steers so hard into everything
Oh
he
man,
did.
and his one line that like, I mean, I will quote in my everyday life, and nobody has any idea what I'm talking about, is whenever he is Captain Spaulding, and he says, why are you so afraid of clowns? Don't you think we're fucking funny? And I just loved it. I love that scene. I love that line. The way that he delivered it is just iconic at this point.
Mhm.
And he is clearly an icon. I never got to meet him. I'm new to the horror family and convention circuit and stuff, so I never got that pleasure, but every single person that I've talked to that has met him at a convention or anything like that says that he is just like, he's just the sweetest guy you could ever imagine to meet, and also just still a badass. And so it's sad to see such an icon go, and all we have to say is rest in peace, good old Captain Spaulding.
R.I.P. my man.
At least we did get we got his Three from Hell wrapped up
Yeah.
before any of his health really took a dive there in the last couple months, and so super cool that movie is finished and we get to see at least one more great piece with old Sid.
Yep.
So that's about all that I have. That's about all that I have for. God, I can't talk. You'd think I would have had like 6 of these by now.
Hasn't even finished the one.
I'm not even done with the first one yet. That is all that we have for you today. You can, just remember that EekSpeak is your online horror house party. You guys are invited. You're always invited to the party, and we record live on YouTube Monday nights at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we'd love for you to join us. And we'd also, we'd love for you to be a guest, because like a party just isn't a party without
Brillo pads.
why?
You just gotta,
Scrub shit.
when you want to grind on each other, you gotta make sure you're,
Brillo pads?
silky smooth.
Party is just not a
Or
party
clean your
without
dishes.
Brillo.
There we go.
You do need the Brillo pads later after the party.
Yes.
That's for sure. It's just not a party without guests, and we would love for you guys to be a guest on the show. If you are interested in being a guest, just like Ben and Nancy were today, all you have to do is reach out to us on Instagram at Eek Channel. That is EEKCHANNEL. You can also send us a email at hello@eekchannel.com. You can also go to eekchannel.com. Click on the Be a Guest link in the upper right-hand corner. You can get in touch with us that way as well. You know what? If you want to help out the show, there's a lot of things that you could do. You could do all the internet things that people say to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe on YouTube. I would really like it if you subscribed on YouTube. You can also, enable notifications. You can just tell a friend. I really just want you to tell a friend. That's all I really care about. You can follow us on Instagram and all that kind of stuff, but just tell a friend. Put all those away. Tell a friend about the podcast. If you think that it is at least somewhat entertaining, even in the slightest bit, just tell somebody. That's all that really matters to me, because your word of mouth is my oxygen. And that's just how it works. Okay, guys, hang on a second. I gotta boop. And then I gotta boop. And then I gotta boop. Thank you so much for listening.